Instagram, Tony Gaskins here. I wanted to pop in, lesson on the lunch break. I'm in Portland, Oregon, getting ready for an event today. And, I was doing a lot of talking yesterday with individuals and talking about our lifestyle and our mindset. And one thing I noticed, and if you're on one side of this, you're on one or the other side. So you are either the person who has shifted your mindset and elevated your life, or you are the person who is still stuck in lack and a scarcity mindset and expecting handouts. You one or the other. And you got to decide which one are you. Because we live in a world that there is so much opportunity. And opportunity is at your fingertips. But as long as you are focusing on your skin color, your gender, your location, your upbringing, your parents, as long as you're focusing on all of your disadvantages, you can't see your advantages. You can't see your opportunities. But when you shift your mindset, and I was talking to a lady yesterday who I bought her a $15,000 car, brand new car. It was 2 years old, Toyota Camry, and she always broke, always needing money. And I said to her, I said, look, you got a new car that is able. You live in a low income neighborhood. You got 3 streets of houses behind you. You can go to each one of those streets. You can go to every door and hand them a flyer that says you're doing $10 grocery store runs. A lot of them people may not have a car, maybe an elderly person living there. Oh, baby, I give you $10 to go pick me, and here go $20, pick me up some milk and some eggs. 10 people do that. That's $100 that you made in that week. What if 30 people do it? So, but that's opportunity, and that's just an example. Not saying that that's a thing, but that can work. So somebody had that idea. I remember talking to my business partner because I didn't have the time to go grocery shopping. And I told him, I said, look, man, we need to get us these little cars, these little eco-friendly cars, and do the grocery shopping for people. Go to the grocery store, charge them online, let them pick their groceries. We get the money, go pick up the groceries and deliver it, create this company. He brushed me off. He in the grocery store industry. That's why I told it to him. He brushed me off. 2 years later, shipped all these companies now that go get your groceries for you. They popped up. Before the company came into fruition, I had the idea 2-3 years before. I say that to say there's always opportunity. But we sit and we want a handout. A lot of us want somebody to do something for you. And this is one thing that people don't understand. If you got kids, understand this. If you have kids, you need to change your mindset right now. Don't teach your kids to be beggars. Don't teach your kids to expect something for nothing. Don't teach your kids to hate the government and to hate people of opposite races and opposite cultures and to be angry and to have a scarcity mindset, a mindset of racism and the world is against me, because you're going to limit their opportunities in life, even if that is their reality. If they know that that is their reality, then they will believe that and they will be limited. You've seen the study of the gnats or the fleas, that they put them in the jar and all they do is jump. They just jump, but the jar had a lid on it. So they were jumping for a whole 24, 48 hours and kept hitting the lid. They kept hitting the lid. And then the people removed the lid and none of the gnats jumped higher than where the lid was. That's what's happening in our world with our children today. We are putting a lid on our children and we're telling them this is as high as you can go. So the most you can do is be a school teacher. The most you can do is be the local community football coach and work for the dump truck company. Work for sanitation. That's the most you can do. I was talking to a client and she got offended that I told her driving a dump truck for the division of traffic in New York City is a dead end job. She's like, I could retire with Social Security. I could retire with benefits. That ain't a dead end job. I said, it is a dead end job because whose purpose are you serving? You could start a nonprofit organization for a few $100s and go to every business on every block in New York City and raise $1 million a year, pay yourself $400,000 out of that million, and use the other $600,000 to create mentorship programs for these kids. And you literally, I watched the woman go do that. I watched the woman when she was 23, 24 years old go create a foundation, get $1.5 million in guarantees from companies in her community, and built a mentorship program mentoring 24 kids every day of the week throughout the whole year, and watching them from through 9th grade through 12th grade. The girl was 23, 24 years old when she took and created that, because she took the lid off of herself. Didn't come from a rich family, didn't come from a wealthy family, but she took the lid off of her life. And see, this is the thing. I come from a town that when I was growing up, it was 5,000 people. Now it's like 15,000. So it has tripled in size, but that was 30 years ago when I was growing up. And it was 5,000 people. The same people that was in my town still there, or in the next city over. They still there. And the limit was, you could go do this, you could go do that. You could work at this grocery store, we could work at this restaurant, you could work at this high school, you could work at that high school. But the limit was not, you could go to New York, you could go to Atlanta, you could go to LA, you could go to Houston, you could own your own company, you could own your own business, you could build your own brand, you could franchise your company. That was never a part of the belief system. You could become world known. You could be known around the world. You could get paid to go work in other countries, taking your gift and your skill set to other countries. And that's what I do. That's what I do. But that never was told to me, Tony. A $1 billion corporation could pay you $50,000 to tell your story for 5 minutes. That never was told to me. But guess what? That's my life. Because this $1 billion company that make $150 billion a year has different initiatives and different campaigns, and they say, look, this is our campaign. We got this certain story. We want to call it such and such. Your story represents this campaign. Can you go and talk to this group of people, which may be 30, 40, 50 people, and we'll pay you $50,000, and we don't want you to talk longer than 5 minutes. What? So you mean to tell me that without a college degree, that without a business mentor, that without a team, without an agent, without a manager, that you could pay me $50,000 to go talk for 5 minutes? This reality. This is reality. This is what I'm trying to help you understand and help you get, is that this is life. That life is what you make it. Life is what you say. So when I said I'm going to be world renowned, when I said I'm going to touch millions of lives, when I said I'm going to reach people around the world, guess what? I went and I did that. I did that because I took the lid off of my life, because I stopped speaking about scarcity. I stopped talking about my problems. I could have problems that's taller than Yao Ming, that's taller than Shaquille O'Neal. I could have that many problems, but I will ignore those problems and I will focus on the solutions. Instead of running down a list of problems, I run down a list of solutions. Instead of running down a list of obstacles, I run down a list of opportunities. Instead of waking up and saying, oh my goodness, here we go again, another broke, busted, and disgusted day. Another day, another dollar. No, another day, another $1 million opportunity. Another day, another opportunity to change my life, to create generational wealth. And I say opportunity is coming. I'm a money magnet. Opportunity is coming. A blessing is coming. And so my eyes are open for that. I'm expecting that. And now I'm looking for it. Every email, every handshake, every glimpse. When I'm sitting at the light, if I glimpse at the person, this person might want to roll their window down and have a blessing for me. You see what I'm saying? You have to shift your mindset to believe that you have abundance in your life, that opportunity and blessings are chasing you. And stop thinking that you broke, busted, and disgusted. Stop talking about, I know the color of my skin and I know the country that I live in. So I know what I'm up against, but I'm not going to sit and mope and complain about that. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work. I'm going to do what I have to do. And so shift your mindset. Shift your mindset, change your mind, and start to realize and understand that I heard a man talking online, and he was talking, he was saying, oh, we did thousands and thousands of studies And what we found out is that the mindset is that when you change your mindset to abundance and you start to believe that you create a new reality for yourself, and that you create this reality in your mind before it is actually a reality in your life. And I'm listening to this man. I said, you went to do thousands and thousands of studies to find out what the Holy Bible says. That's from the Holy Bible, man. What you talking about? That is from the Holy Bible. You didn't have to do studies to find that out. He's talking about they studied brain patterns and they studied the pattern of the brain. I said, that is from the Holy Bible, my brother. So you just went and did thousands of studies, wasted all them people money that you done raised to do them thousands of studies to find out that what the Holy Bible says is true. That death and life is in the power of your tongue. That you will have what you say. That so as a man thinketh, such as a man thinketh, so he is. That's from the Holy Bible. You got scientists going out doing all of these studies, millions of dollars, to come to the conclusion that what the Holy Bible said is true. I listened to this man say this on this platform. It was a big podcast. I think Lewis Howes podcast. Lewis Howes ain't never had me on the podcast. I said, I've been saying this for years. But you know why I've been saying it? Because the Holy Bible said it 2,000 years ago. I was talking to some atheists yesterday. And when I say atheists, what I mean is people who profess to be Christian and go to church but don't believe in the power of God. I was talking to some atheists yesterday, and I said, where is truly your faith? And then if you have faith, where are your works? And if we serve the same God, why are we getting different results? Because we're not implementing the word. God has no respect of persons. What that means is he does not show favor to me over you. What he says is, here's the principles. These are the principles. Activate these principles and you will receive in proportion to your faith. Because of your faith, so you will have. That's what the atheist scientists are proving now with their brain studies. That what the Holy Bible already said is true. Listen to this. If you don't believe in God, listen to what the scientists telling you. And then what I'm telling you is that it's already written. The secret, the law of attraction, all of this stuff is people just trying to remove God from the equation. But when you read the Holy Bible, that's why I tell people all the time, when they say, Tony, what's your favorite book? I say the Holy Bible. Because anytime I read a book of wisdom that's written by a man or a woman, the foundations of what they are teaching has already been written. In the good book, I believe it was Apostle Paul that says, there is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. It's already been said. It's already been done. There's nothing original. It's just a different version of it. You see the buildings in Egypt. You see the buildings in Rome. So why are you impressed with a skyscraper today? You see what I'm saying? Come on now. It's all in the mind. The mind is the greatest thing. And you have control over yourself. So what are you saying out of your mouth? You saying out of your mouth, it's so tough. It's so tough. Remember, I don't have a loan. Remember, I don't have help. Remember, I got 4 kids. Remember, I got 2 kids. Remember, I'm a single parent. Remember this. Remember, I'm black. Remember, I'm an immigrant. Remember, I'm from this country. Remember this. We got all of these excuses. I sat down with a man from another country. His parents from Haiti. I'm in Portland. This man became the first black winemaker because his in-laws had a field of grapes. And he looked at them grapes and he said nobody was doing anything with the grapes. Then had the field of grapes and nobody was doing anything with the grapes. He looked at the grapes and saw opportunity and became a winemaker. and distributing it around the country. Do you see a vineyard of grapes that will go rotten if you cannot eat them? Or do you see wine? Do you see your own wine company, wine distribution company? What do you see? Do you see a car that you paying? And the lady who I bought the $15,000 car for don't even pay the car note or the insurance. All that's paid by me. So do you see a car that is making noise, a noise that you don't, that is normal for a car, that you think is something wrong with it because you know nothing about cars? Or do you see a vehicle of opportunity to provide rides for other people who may be scarcity minded and getting hundreds of dollars in welfare and Social Security every month, but riding the bus? When you going the same way and could take them, drop them off on your way to where you going for $20, $10, and add another $50, $100 to your income every week. You could put two, three of them in your car with you. You see what I'm saying? What do you see? Are you seeing opportunity or are you seeing obstacles? And that's one thing that hinders a lot of people is we do not take time to look at ourselves from the outside in. Instead, we always see only our view. Oh, remember I'm black. Remember I'm a woman. Oh, remember I'm uneducated. Oh, remember I'm an immigrant. And we only see our excuses. But we don't take time to step outside and look in and see what the world around us sees. I was ashamed of my country accent, and it was a white man in Hollywood that told me your country accent is what's going to set you apart. If you sound just like everybody else who's speaking perfect English, then ain't nothing special about you. But if you come in here with a country accent and you got a mouthful of wisdom with that country accent, that's what's going to set you apart. See, he saw opportunity. I saw it as an obstacle. I saw it as a hindrance. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. You got to step outside of yourself and you got to look at yourself and you got to see the opportunity in you. Because, see, I come from nothing. I didn't have rich parents. I didn't have a business mentor. I didn't have a team. I still don't have a team. I got independent consultants. You do your job, you're going to keep getting to work. You don't do your job, I'm done with you. Go ahead to somebody else. I got independent consultants. Ain't nobody on salary. Ain't nobody on salary with me. And I got 11 companies and over 50 streams of income. So I could be sitting there and complaining and saying, look, I'm a solo entrepreneur. I need a big office. I need a big staff. I need a business mentor. I need this. I need that. No, I'm not sitting there complaining. I'm getting up and I'm going to work. I'm sitting out and I'm creating. If it's 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm creating. I'm finding a need. And when somebody has a dream and they sleeping on their dream, guess what? I done woke up to the dream. So my dreams don't help me sleep. My dreams wake me up. If you go on characteruniversity.com, if there's any college coaches on here, college sports coaches, I created characteruniversity.com about 2 weeks ago. Spelled just like it sounds, characteruniversity.com. Guess what? A man had that domain, and he had it from 2015. And he had a dream, and he had a vision, and he had a plan for it. Something went wrong. Something took him off the path, and he let the domain expire. I got the domain for $9.99. And the system told me that domain worth $5,000. It's worth $5,000, but it's actually worth way more than that because of who it can reach and what it can do. It's priceless. And I got that at 4 o'clock in the morning because the dream woke me up. So here I am going and I'm speaking to these college teams because I was a college athlete who started selling drugs out of my dorm room and who started faking injuries on the football field. And my coach kicked me off the team after 3 years and I was on a full scholarship. Could have paid for my master's degree on this full scholarship. I could have had a master's in 5 years, completely paid for, no student loan debt. I dropped the ball. I got kicked off the team, came home and had to rack up about $40,000, $50,000 in student loan debt to still not earn a bachelor's degree. So I got a story to tell. But so when you look at my life today and see where I've come, it's all because of a mindset shift. That's why I went and from my problems, from my mess, I created a message. From my pain, I gave it purpose. You see what I mean? So look at who you are. Look at what you've gone through. Look at where you're struggling at and create from that space. Stop making excuses and start making changes. Come on now. Stop making excuses and start making changes. Stop letting worry come out of your mouth. Stop letting doubt come out of your mouth. Stop letting skepticism and cynicism come out of your mouth. Let abundance come out your mouth. Let blessings come out your mouth. Let opportunity come out your mouth. Let prosperity come out of your mouth instead of poverty. Teach your kids abundance. Teach your kids prosperity. Teach your kids opportunity. Don't let your child's gender or race or nationality be a hindrance for them. I got two sister-in-laws. Because my wife got two siblings. I got two sister-in-laws. One a doctor and one a lawyer. My wife got a master's degree in medical sciences and paid for her entire education from her academics. These three young ladies are the children of immigrants who came to America from Jamaica with $1 and a dream. And so what I need you to understand is that it's a million stories like this. So why not be one of them? Instead of making excuses for you and your life and all of your problems. And then this one thing about success. When people like me change our mindset and then we make it out. I remember talking to a multi-millionaire who made it from my city before I made it out. And he told me, he said, man, it's a lot of days I wish I was regular. And the reason why, because of the stress and because of the entitlement that people around you come into your life and have. And they say, because you made it, I made it. No. It's not because I made it that you made it. You ain't make nothing. You still where you at. And I don't owe you nothing. But what you owe yourself is to change your mindset the same way I changed my mindset. Because see, I made decisions that could have cost me my life. I made decisions that could have cost me my freedom. I got an uncle doing 30 years in prison. I got homeboys that I grew up with that we played basketball on the same team together. We spent the night at each other's house doing life, doing double life, doing 2 life sentences, doing a whole life sentence. Guys that we was knee-high to a grasshopper. They doing life for murder. I could have been in the house with them committing the murder. I could have been in the car when it was caught with 10 kilos of cocaine. I could have been there. So see, I made decisions. I made decisions that could have cost me my life, that could have cost me my freedom. But then I had a paradigm shift. And I started making new decisions, and I started to see opportunity instead of seeing circumstances. And I stopped saying that I'm a product of my environment, and I started saying that my environment will be a product of me. And so when I shift my mindset and I started to create from within, see, your life story is your university. You don't need a university. That's a luxury. University is a luxury. If you blessed to get that, then get that. But that's not a necessity. I don't have a college degree, but I earned a great living. I have a great life. I went to college for 8 years, but college did not do it for me. College did not give me my success I have today. A mindset shift gave me the success I have today. I just did a 6-week vacation in Europe. Thanks to my wife. That was a mindset shift. I did not do a vacation sitting on an account of millions of dollars to pay for the vacation. Don't get it twisted. I did a vacation on faith. The money that helped pay for the vacation was coming in while I was on vacation. I stepped out not knowing how a 6-week vacation in Europe, 8 countries in 20 cities, would be paid for out of our expense account without having to go into a savings account. I did not know how we would be able to have a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 vacation. I did not know how that would happen. But I said, look, I want the experience, and I want my kids to see beyond where they are. I want them to see the experience. And I said, I know God is going to provide. And I was working, I was believing, I was praying, and I was speaking it into existence. And the provision came as I took faith to activate the vision. And that is what happens in every area of your life. And that's what you have to understand, that if you speak in lack, you're going to stay in lack. I was telling my sister yesterday, and I told her, listen to me. And I wish I cursed. I do not curse. But I wish I could tell her in more terms than what I did. I wish I could say to her, don't ever stop making excuses. Because everything that I say to poverty-minded people, they have an excuse. Oh, but remember, I don't have this. Oh, but remember, you had this. Remember, you had thousands of dollars of help. You know what brought thousands of dollars of help? What brought thousands of dollars of help? What made man see me fit to invest in me is because I balanced a dream and a job for 5 years. Because I worked 80 hours a week for 5 years. Because I worked 40 hours for them on their dead-end job, and then I worked 40 hours for me. Because I stopped listening to rap music like you are listening to. Because rap music is not teaching you how to build your dream. Rap music is not teaching you how to create generational wealth. It is teaching you how to lie, steal, kill, front, fake, fornicate, masturbate, adulterate. It is teaching you how to do everything but be a productive citizen in the world. So I stopped listening to the radio and I started listening to podcasts. I started listening to YouTube videos of speakers who are now dead and gone. I listened to that 10 hours a day for 5 years straight. And I took every extra dime that I had and I sold it into my business. I sent my account into the negative time and time again to buy a course, to go to a seminar, to publish a book. That is what got me in the position to receive thousands of dollars from man. So they say, oh, you had this. Oh, you had that. No, I had a mindset shift. And then I had action to follow that. I had sleepless nights is what I had. I had dedication and focus is what I had. That's what I had. Don't tell me that I had a handout. Don't tell me that I had a silver spoon. Don't tell me that I had a red carpet. I had dedication, commitment, and focus. That's what I had. I had separation before elevation. I stopped hanging with my homeboys. I stopped selling drugs in the streets. I stopped hanging in the streets. I stopped going to the club. I stopped listening to junk music. I stopped watching junk television. I stopped having meaningless conversations on the cell phone. That's what I had. I had nights full of prayer and work. I had days full of focus and dedication. That's what produced millions in my life. Millions to the point to where I don't have to create a facade. I don't have to post my expensive cars. I don't have to post a jet. I don't have to create a facade to make money because I changed on the inside. So I don't have to fake on the outside. I got it for real on the inside. And where I lack, guess what? I have created the alliances and the connections to still thrive. Because those people that I may be connected with, who may do a business deal with me, they know they will make millions from me because of my mindset and my lifestyle and my focus and my dedication. I'm not getting drunk. I'm not getting high. I'm not gambling. I'm not going to concerts. It's not going to move my life forward. I'm not going to Vegas. I'm not going to the Fire Festival. I'm not going to rehab on Memorial Day. I'm not going to this celebrity weekend and that celebrity weekend unless they got a course or a seminar that's going to move my life forward. I'm not going to get in a group of people who all broke-minded to watch a basketball game. I'm not going to do that unless it's for a benefit and it's for a positive reason and that they provide an education and advancement in that realm. I'm not going there because you know why? Who else coming there? The mass shooters coming there. So I'm not going to hang out and be a sitting duck seeking pleasure to be caught by other people who want to start a fight, who in the club and want to shoot up the club. What you in the club for? What you turning up for? Do you need to turn down? You need to turn down and open you a book. Listen to you a podcast. Go take you an online course. That's what you need to be doing. So see, a lot of times we sit and we complain about our life. We complain about what we don't have. We complain about what we can't do. We complain about, it's a mindset. You create this. Everything that happens to you in your life, there's a lesson in it. Some things happen to you without reason. Some things are out of your control and you had nothing to do with it. So don't get me twisted. But a lot of things you chose. A lot of things you chose. You chose so you can't pay your car note because you chose to go spend $160 on your hairdo when you could have wore a ponytail. And if you can't get no ponytail, you could have got a bottle of gel and a fine tooth comb and laid your hair down. Laid the hair down with that gel. But you chose to go spend $100, $200, $300, $400 on your hair. And now you need money for your car note. Now you need money for your rent. See, it's a choice that you made. I lost my football scholarship. I could say that because my coach was Italian and because he was from the old days and Italians did not like black people in the old days, that's why he kicked me off my team. That could be my excuse for losing my college scholarship. I could easily say that. And it could be that. I remember my other coach who was country, a redneck. Well, that's what they called themselves. He came up to me and it was white girls that liked me. And they went to a party with me. And the coach came up to me and said, "Tony, why do you mess with our white women?" Now, this 2003, 2004. I'm like, "Coach, for one, I do not want your white women. For one, first off, your white women want me." So I had to tell the coach this. I'm in college. So when I got kicked off the team, that could have been the reason. Oh, this interracial dating, we're not with this. That could have been the reason. I was in West Virginia. Less than 1% of people in West Virginia at that time was black. So that could have been the reason. But you know what I also said? I said I was selling drugs out the dorm room. I was seeing a mud puddle on the field and faking a hamstring injury. I was sleeping through practice. I was skipping class. I was failing my tests. I was sleeping around. I would skip class, sleep around, fall asleep after sleeping around, sleep through practice, and then come try to lie and say I was taking a test, knowing that my coach could go ask my teacher, my professor, was I taking a test? So I had to realize that although I could be making this whole other narrative in my mind of why I lost a full football scholarship worth $150,000 based on racism and playing the race card, I look at what I did wrong because I realized there was a lot of other black guys on the team who also finished with their degree or their master's degree under the same coach. And it's because they showed up to practice on time. They gave 150%. They did not sleep around. They did not sell drugs. They did not steal from stores on the weekend. They were not living the lifestyle I was living because I was trying to be a goon, because I was trying to be like the boys that was still stuck in the hood and I had made it out because I was trying to be like something else. This to y'all pro athletes who watching this too. I done mentored over 500 pro athletes. This to y'all too. Stop trying to be hood when you a millionaire. Stop trying to fit in with your boys that's stuck in the hood without a dollar and a dream. Stop trying to relate to them and help them relate to you. Help them elevate their lifestyle. Stop going and getting every single tattoo that you could dream of for no reason. If it don't serve a purpose, then don't go just get you a cloud for no reason. Don't go get you a lightning bolt for no reason unless you saying your success gonna strike like lightning. Like, stop operating from a place of insecurity. Stop operating from a place of weakness. Stop trying to look a role. Stop trying to play a part and be who you call to be. See, we don't want to hear that because the truth too real. Everybody judging. I got a quote that went viral and it said, not everybody is hating on you. Somebody telling you the truth. Not everybody's hating on you. Somebody telling you the truth. And this is my thing. Listen to me. I done went through seasons in my life to where I done built my life. I done went through seasons in my life to where I will go and I will splurge and I have spent money and I will have designer everything, cars, and I done went through repossession. I done went through eviction. I done went through lights cut off, water cut off. I done went through that. Phone cut off. I've been through that. And you know what I did? I sat in it. I sat in my mess to get the lesson. And when I looked over my life, what I realized is that I made bad choices. It was not that my job could not meet my needs. It was not that my God could not meet my needs. It was my decisions with the provision that I received. They say Martin Luther King said that we buy what we want and we beg for what we need. My wife hit me with something. She said, people who get tax returns, who say that they need an opportunity, and who say they need a business loan, or they need bill money. She said, people who get tax returns because they have children. See, we don't get tax returns. We got to pay taxes. And so, but she said to me, she said, people who get tax returns, what do you do with your tax return? What do you do with your tax return? See, a lot of times we don't understand that the provision already there. So you need help with your rent. Your tax return was worth 7 months of rent. But you went to the club. You went to the Chris Brown concert. You went to Vegas. You went and bought a car that now you need help on the maintenance because you got in a car that you cannot afford. See, the provision was there. You need a business loan. You done got a tax return for the last 15 years. Because your daughter 15 years old, your son 15 years old. And you got 2-3 kids. So you done got $3,000 to $10,000 for the last 15 years. If you getting $10,000 on your tax return and your child 18 years old, 17 years old, that means you done got $170,000 for having them kids you done had. $170,000 is not really a business in the world that you could not have started. You could have opened your own hair salon on 10 of them K, On 10 of them K that you done seen over from tax returns on the last 10 years, you could have opened your own hair salon, your own barbershop. My barber opened his barbershop on less than 5K. Cause he in the hood. The rent, the first and last month's rent was affordable. And he started there. Now one day he gonna be in a plush building. One day he gonna have multiple buildings. But he got into his situation for under 5K because he had a dream and he had a vision and he spoke it into existence. And he showed up every single day. He showed up, first one there, last one to leave, working in somebody else's barbershop. And then men saw fit to say, this your dream? Hey, wherever you go, we going with you. We gonna support you. We going with you. Take your business wherever you go, we coming to you. How much ever you gonna charge, we gonna pay that. Hey, and here go a little something to help you get the doors open because you done showed yourself approved. But if every time somebody look up, you at a concert, if every time somebody look up, you getting your hair and your nails done, if every time somebody look up, you got Ferragamo, Gucci, and Louis Vuitton belts, if every time somebody look up, you living a lavish lifestyle, and you got a whole job, but you need a loan and you need some money, but when they look at you, you got the drip on. And so they looking at you and you looking like a running faucet, but you need help with your car note. You need help with your rent. But see, it was decisions that led up to it because you want to eat out, because you want to get some hair done, because you want to go shopping. And then you will look and say, oh, I ain't got this, I ain't got that, I ain't got this, I ain't got that. But you ain't creating. You're not creating. You're not thinking about what you could be selling, what you could be doing. I talked to a man who was from another country, and he's selling a product. This man was selling a product. And he told me, he said, Tony, I took my product and I went to the rich area of town. He said, I come from the hood. I left the hood, I put a suit on, and I went to the rich area of town. And he said, Tony, I went to every business. I went to every business soliciting my product. He said, if the sign on their business said no soliciting, he said, I saw that as a challenge, and I went in there. The man from another country, from an island, from a Caribbean island. And he said, I saw that as a challenge. And I went in there and I solicited. And I told them about my business. He said, some of them kicked me out and they ran me out. He said, but when they was kicking me out the door, I would say to them, why don't you want to take advantage of this opportunity I'm presenting to you? And he said, whatever they told me, I would take that lesson and then I would flip my pitch before I go to the next business that's next door. And then he said, I did this every single day. And he said, eventually, in my company, in my business, I started enrolling accountants, lawyers, doctors, business owners who had several clients, managers, tax preparers. He said, I started enrolling these people in my service, in my company, after they would kick me out. And he said, then they got to the point to where when I would come in, they would accept me, even though they sign said no soliciting. They would say, what you got for me today? What's going on now? What's up in the business now? What's the next opportunity? He said they would accept me. And this man went from sleeping in somebody else's house to now making a few $1 million a year just by going door to door, just by thinking outside of the box. And let me tell you what the man told me. He said, Tony, I started going to every self-development seminar that came to my city. Every one of them, regardless of the cost. I paid the cost. I networked with people. Sometimes I got VIP tickets for free. I was in there broke, busted, and disgusted, but I was there to change my life. And so he said, now I'm leading in my industry, and people looking at me and they wondering how I did it. And I teach them how I did it. But not everybody want to do the work. So see, people come to see, this one thing about me. Making it out of mediocrity, making it out of being average. And Nobody has come to me from my family and said, Tony, the friends and family who have asked me for a loan, nobody has come and said, Tony, if I go to the local community college and start taking classes in business management, will you let me intern for you so that one day I could manage one of your 11 companies? Not a single person. Not a single person. But they will come, can you help me with my rent, with my mortgage, with my phone bill, with my light bill, help me get a car, can you help me with my down payment? But ain't nobody said, can I get in position to learn what you do, to take one of the jobs that you're doing yourself, do one of them jobs, make your life easier, and in the same time, it's helping me too. Nobody asked that question. But instead have a sense of entitlement. Oh, you made it. You supposed to come back to the community and give back to the community. What the community gave me other than a headache? What the community gave me? So when I come and give back, I'm coming and giving back from my heart, not out of obligation, not because I owe you something. I'm coming to give back because it's kids who need to see another option. I'm coming to give back because it's children. I'm coming to speak to your team, your college team that does not have a budget, not for you, for them players that need to see when you can't catch a ball, when you can't bounce a ball, it's still something you can be in this world to serve a purpose. That's who I'm coming for. So I don't owe nobody nothing. But see, we sit with a sense of entitlement. And I've been in that mindset. I've been in that mindset around millionaires and thinking that, man, hey, man, you got all this money, you supposed to give me something. Man, you got all this money, you supposed to help me out. Man, you got all this money and you can't give me this, you can't give me that. I've seen millionaires fall out with their friends and family over $500. But see, the family who needed the friend or the family who needed the $500 didn't understand the principle. Did not understand the principle of what that millionaire was trying to teach them. What the millionaire was trying to teach them is that, listen, I sacrificed, I sweated, I changed my mindset, and it changed my life. If I take my sacrifice and my sweat and my dedication and my focus, and I take the reward that I have reaped, and I just give it to you again and again and again, you will never learn how to get it for yourself. So although, yes, I have $500, I do not have $500 to give you again because I have done that already. And you still are in the same position because the welfare system, the food stamp system has tricked you and trapped your mind to expect something free from somebody else so that you will not get up and go to work and create and sweat and discipline yourself and change your mindset and change what's coming out your mouth to change your life. So because you won't change your words and because you won't change your action, I cannot keep giving my money to that. See, they don't understand the principle. They just look at it, oh, you made it and you got all this money and you're supposed to be helping me. See, when you come from nothing, if you start making $70,000 a year, people think you rich. So imagine if you making $50,000 to $70,000 and your mama, your sister, your brother, your cousin who didn't even talk to you growing up, want some money. And you like, what the world? You know, you have family who club and who gamble and will come ask for a loan. Absolutely not. I do not have a loan for you to go gamble. I absolutely do not have a loan for you to go to the club. I absolutely do not. I got a homeboy, again, from a Caribbean island. This man didn't watch me come from being in the streets, hustling out the dorm room when I should have been focused on education, you know, being a complete crooked individual. This man done watched me go from that to who I am today. And what this man make in a year, I make double, triple, quadruple that in a month. What he make in a year, sometimes I make double what he make in a year in 1 hour. And this man ain't asked me for nothing. This man has never asked me, and this man be around me, be on the road with me. He my security guard, and I don't even need security because my hands up to date and I will shoot back. I don't even need security. But he on the road with me, and I put him in position, and I put money in his pocket. And this man ain't never asked me for a red cent. Because his mindset is, if I'm going to get it, I got to get it. Out the mud. Tony don't owe me nothing. Just because this my homeboy. Just because we played college football together. Just because I spend hours and hours on end with him. Just because I travel the world with him. Don't mean he owe me something. So this man take and spend his own money to go and pay for training, to up his security game, to learn more about personal protection. Because of the message that I'm carrying, it may come a time that we got to shoot back. It may come a time that we got to lay somebody down. So he getting in position, and he getting ready, and he stay prepared. And he investing the money in himself. Money that he might not even have. And don't ask me for nothing. So if I get a big check, I'll call him and I'll shoot him some bread. I call him and I just give him some money for no reason, just because he don't ask me for nothing. He don't expect nothing. But it's a lot of friends you meet that they'll expect something from you. It's a lot of strangers you meet who expect something from you, who want something from you. A man came to me and was like, oh, I see such and such doing a tour. He take other people on there. And I was thinking, who you taking on tour? Who you giving back to? I said, I ain't got to give back to now one of y'all. I don't know you. What I look like going on tour with you? You could be cheating on your wife. You could be beating on your wife. What I'm going to do a tour with you for? I don't care who else doing tours with multiple people. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm doing what God told me to do, and God ain't tell me to link up with a bunch of speakers and to go on tour, because I don't know what them people doing with their lifestyle. And I don't want the people in the crowd who come into the tour to hold that against me if one of these men want to try to sleep with them. So they ain't got nothing to do with me, because all I can do is to speak for myself. And one thing I do know is that God will give you a mission, and God will give you a message, and then he will give you the vision, and he will give you the provision. Because understand this, to build my brand, I didn't go on tour with nobody. Ain't nobody take me on their tour. Ain't nobody bring me on their show. People say, oh, you went on Oprah and Tyra. That was before I had social media. So me going on Oprah Winfrey to tell my story, Oprah didn't promote my book. I ain't sell a single red book. I went on Oprah to tell my story. Oprah ain't stamped me. Didn't sell no book for me. I went on Tyra Banks. That didn't sell no books. It sold 20 books. Didn't do nothing for me. I didn't even have social media. So I just got out and went to work and started grinding. And that's how I built my brand. And not with Hollywood help. Not with Hollywood help. Did not know celebrities in Hollywood. Did not have a mega pastor that put me on. That put me on the stage and put me on. Did not have that. Just me and God. Just build it out the mud. And so that's what I'm saying. Stop expecting a handout. Stop expecting somebody to leverage their money, their time, their brand, their business for you. And you do what you have to do. You need a business loan? Use your tax return. You need a business loan? Use the money you spend eating out and getting your hair done. If you got to go get you a $5 weave, a $5 wig from Chinatown, put that wig on and let them talk about you. But guess what? You saving hundreds of dollars a month. Do your own hair. I was just talking to somebody about that. You know, came to me for money, for hairdos, but then the next week after that need money for tuition, or need money for clothes, or need money for this and that. And I'm like, you just went and got your hair done when you know how to do hair. So I'm missing the picture here. And this where we failing at, man, is we making so many excuses. And we want to get so mad. I could barely pronounce the president's name. That's how little attention I pay to politics. It ain't stopping nothing I'm doing. I don't care what they got going on. What I'm doing between me and God. And I don't care if it's a recession. I don't care if we in the best times we ever had. My life gonna be the same. It's gonna be on purpose and it's gonna be on path. And I'm gonna be thriving, not just surviving. I'm gonna be in abundance and not in scarcity. My family member wish bad on me. You could be up today and down tomorrow. And I say, you know what? If I'm down tomorrow, I'm gonna get back up without making an excuse. I'm gonna get back up without asking you for a single thing. If I'm a vegetable in a hospital bed, I done already created a system that could be passed down to my children. I done already created a system that my family could run and still earn a living because I had the foresight. Because I don't want any excuses. I don't want any excuses. If I don't get a single dime in help or assistance, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work and I'm going to make a way. And I'm not going to make an excuse for my race, for my age, for my accent, for my location, for my circumstance, for my situation. I'm not making an excuse. I'm making changes and I'm making progress. And that's where we fail at. And I say, if the Lord called me home, I got a $2 million life insurance. And guess what? Now this right here gonna knock you off your chair. I got a $2 million life insurance, and you know how much it costs? $100 a month. So you will be sitting there stressing and worrying about if something happened to you, how your kids gonna eat. And for the money you spending on coffee, for the money you spending out to eat, you could have a $2 million life insurance policy. That made too much sense. What? I can have that? Yeah. That's what you got Google for. You know who I went to? I went to Xander Insurance. Because that's when I was listening to Dave Ramsey. And he kept promoting Xander Insurance. And I went to old Xander Insurance. And I put my information in. They sent me a bunch of quotes. And I signed up with Banner Life Insurance. 30-year term life. So if the Lord take me inside of the next 30 years, my wife would get $2 million that she can live off of, get back into school, run our companies, get her some time to clear her head for $100 a month. Come on now. So I ain't leaving my family in lack. And I got it on auto. So if ain't no money in the account, it'll send it into the overdraft. And I'll catch up with it later. Got it on auto pay. You see what I'm saying? Stop making excuses because there's opportunity in the midst of obstacles. Stop crying and worrying and complaining and moping and being down and look at your opportunity and not your struggles and your pain. And when you get that mindset, you're going to start to create. You're going to see things that you could create, that you can do, that you can sell. It's a gift that you have in you right now that people will pay you for. That gift might be talking. It might be writing. It might be serving. It might be organizing a closet. My wife showed me, we was in the store the other day, in the Container Store, and my wife showed me these two women who was going and organizing people's closet or something, or organizing their house or something. And now these women got a TV show, they got a big old line, they got all this stuff in Container Store, they got several people working from them, and it was because they took their passion or their gift, whichever it is. Sometimes your passion is not your gift, and sometimes your gift is not your passion. Understand that. But they took what they had, and they started to do it. They started to work it. And it started to build. And then they were able to scale it. You cook food, sell plates out the kitchen. You like to drive everybody in your neighborhood to the store for their errands. Charge them $5, $10. Charge them what they can afford and build it. And then you're going to meet somebody one day at the store who's going to buy you a van. Because you like to drive, and now you're taking the whole neighborhood and you're making $1,000 a day. Listen, everything. Inside of every problem, there is a seed to the solution. That's somebody else's quote. I don't know. I can't remember who wrote it. Inside of every problem. Hey, God bless y'all. It's about to cut off on me.